Hey,
Nah,
hey,
just have fun. I'm talking.
but it's amazing. Like, thank you, dog. It's amazing, like what society has made. You know what I mean? Like,
Fun, dangerous.
yeah. I mean, just think of MMA. MMA is gladiator shit. Motherfuckers just be on that shit.
Yeah, mama been doing that shit, bro.
Because they made it publicized because it was not publicized. They were doing it underground. Motherfuckers getting rich underground.
Yep, and then what they was doing, like way back, they was taking like the slaves and shit and using them for the fighters and stuff
That's
like
the
that.
gladiators.
Yep.
That's who the gladiators was. The one that was real good at it was the one that won their slave, their freedom.
When they freed
Now
them.
you might have one of them guys that sells himself off to the king or lord and a fight for him, man. He just fight in the gladiator school, but that's what he do.
But it's just like imprisonment now. You put them off in prison when they go to prison and pay their debt, right?
Yeah.
Usually, and now you're free.
Yep.
But the thing about it,
that was.
in the gladiator time, in the gladiator times, it's funny shit because you say that, and it's just like slavery. Because you know they fought for their time, which means they worked, and then when they got their freedom, where the fuck was they gonna go?
Yep, nowhere. So they end up
continuing to fight because they don't have no motherfucking where to go.
That's the thing. You could get killed.
I mean, yeah, I want my freedom, but fuck, I don't have no home.
Yep.
I don't have no place to go.
They're like the slaves when they let them go here. They're supposed to give them some sort of.
That's why 1867 was not the release of slaves.
28 acres and a mule. But the only thing about it, they never gave the slaves that, but they gave the slave owners that lost slaves reparation. They paid them off.
Yeah, because of reparations for production of the land, production of crops.
No, not because.
So they gave them because we said slaves were released. Because we said slaves were released, the government gave all those plantations money because they said they were lacking work.
Don't mix that. No. They got paid for the loss of the slaves, cause them slaves was making the farm produce, but they were paid even before the lands was not producing.
Yeah. I said the same thing. I just said the land. I didn't say the slave.
Okay, but when I said
somebody
listening.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's the thing. It's like because the government assumed that because slaves were free and the slaves were leaving, the slave owners petitioned for these grants to get that money for the lack of field production. Assuming
because they lost property, they called it loss of property.
But they didn't lose their property.
That's took them. The slaves were their property.
But the thing about it, no slaves left though.
But listen,
because they didn't have nowhere to go.
Listen to one of those that did leave when they left their slave owners. There was a lot of them that left and fled up north or down south. You know what I'm saying? Or go west. They left the plantation. They wasn't running.
Shit.
Look, man, you had those that was still able to get off on it. Yeah, you had those that was trying to sit up there and grab them and force them to get in the line. But that was not even a majority of them. You had some free men that decided, if you really looked at sometimes the roots when Chicken George helped his family get to the film that it was, you had some free black men that sat up there and fought off the tyranny of the white man.
I get that, but I was saying the journey to get there. Not everybody had the pride and the courage to leave the situation that they were at to go to. Wait. We say freedom, but what was freedom? Okay, so I hear what you're saying, and a lot of people did that. But there were so many people that did not do that because they didn't understand what freedom was. They didn't understand where they were going.
That's understandable.
But they didn't have nothing to go to, so they stayed on those things.
That's understandable that those stayed. That's where you had the sharecroppers. You understand? These are people that stayed there thinking that land was going to become theirs, but the people that owned it gave them the livestock to work the land. the fees, go to the store and say that, well, you'll owe me this with next crop, when the next crop come in. And they thinking they're working their own land, where all they doing is working for the man, and the man sitting up and coming to him with, you owe me this. So now your land owe me, but I'm gonna let you stay on it, and you keep working it. If you don't believe that, go up there and ask some Southern people.
Let me give you an example of the first version of reverse hypocrisy.
The what?
Reverse hypocrisy.
Okay, what they got? Okay, maybe they got something to do with what I just said.
So slavery moving out, you got a large group of people that can't leave, this and that, this and that. A lot of people that are caught in between are making that decision. So what slave owners believed, they understood, we understood with religion. So this is where this goes into something else about Martin Luther King I'll get into a little bit later, but I'm gonna stick right here. So what they would do is they would get a preacher, and what they did is to get these preachers to go to travel to each plantation and teach them religion, and this is where all of our little hymns and shit come from. It was to keep motherfuckers on the motherfucking farms. Religion and shit.
Wait a minute, homie, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm going deep.
Before
I'm going fucking deep.
Before
Have
they
you heard?
Before they even had those preachers following around, you understand? They had those hymns, because that's the only thing they had. No, because you could sit up there and be singing.
No, I'm talking about the church hymn.
This wasn't even about church, because all you could do was work the land. Come on,
but listen to me about the preacher traveling to the plantation.
I know.
And looping motherfuckers in like Kingdom of the Valley.
Where you from?
Looping motherfuckers like Kingdom of the Valley, and this motherfucker saying, yeah, we can stay here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this preacher would go to all these. He was a paid preacher. He was a house nigga, right? And this is how these plantations was able to keep their black people on there. And some ran, but the motherfuckers that did not run, they got kept on by religion.
No,
and these are the motherfuckers that stayed there and worked that shit.
That is the truth, for in a way, because that's one other way that they use to keep them on there
without whipping them and this and that and this and that, because they were supposedly free, but they knew they had nowhere to go. So how do you enslave them without anywhere to go? Still religion. So we fast forward to the civil rights days.
No. Okay, go ahead. We'll fast forward to civil rights days. We're gonna say that for another day. I'm going back to when the brothers got free. Okay.
Who's the kid saying?
You still no, not I told you Chicken George. And went out and he left because his daddy was the white man, remember? But his mom, because of him sleeping with daddy, freed him, remember? And he went out and made his and got himself some lamb, and he came back for his family.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of brothers was able to do that too, and that lamb, and you don't realize how many free black men there was during that time. We all weren't slaves, and we all weren't stupid. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what I found out about that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I'm a science teacher, but I'm a history fucking buff. You know,
Yes, sir.
I'm a history buff.
Yes,
like
sir.
my kids are too.
Yes, sir.
So what I found out about that is like a lot of people did get out of slavery, and what I realized, they fled to Canada.
Excuse me?
They fled to Canada. A lot of the people that actually got away and were like big either made it west or to Canada. The South was not happening.
You got those that couldn't go no place. You just said so yourself.
But the ones that ran, they got away, the ones we hear the story about, the one they teach us about in our history class, it's only a few of them.
You know.
Did you just catch what I just said?
There's only a few of them.
No. what they taught
They
to
teach us about-
in our history class.
That's why I'm so proud of the internet, because nowadays you can get more truth about and have understanding of more blacks that have done more in this country than what this country give us credit for.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Me, even back in the 60s, I said, ain't nowhere in the world, if you sitting up here telling me that a black man got killed as one of the first soldiers in the Revolutionary War, that he was the only one there, and that's the only one, and there wasn't no black man further in there, and I know there had to been a free black man because my family, when my family came in this country, we wouldn't come here as slaves, so I'll never be a nigga in my life. Because I've never been a slave. My family, my background, I'm come from slave. Now, I may have some pigmentation of white skin in my family because I got some of the fucking diseases. And excuse me, I said I wasn't going to cuss. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a free black man in this country, and ain't no other American going to tell me how to act, because I know my family fought and help fight for this. Sure. And those that didn't make it, that wasn't slavery, I didn't make them slaves, and to me, they're not. And they're my brothers and sisters, and we stand up and fight together and keep that strength together. We can go further than we go any day.
You know what I think is our enslavement of this country, like the continued enslavement. I think our continued enslavement is the insertion of wonder.
It's a what? Insertion of what?
An insertion of wonder. The insertion of why. Okay, because the assertion of why things happen. The assertion of we're feeling these things. Like,
now,
wait, hold on. Did I let you talk?
Open mind to everything that's not helping to me. Exhale the bad things that bend, then to break our peace. Ain't no time to sit back, hold on back.